All right, this is Mike at digitalnomad.net. Hopefully you guys can see me. If you can actually see me, say something. Or if you can't see me, let me know too. Kind of like give me an idea in the chat there. Just say I can see you, I can't see you, that kind of thing. Anyway, I've done 3 videos today. Only one of them you could actually see me on, and that was a test video. The other 2 didn't work, even before and after the test. So let's just go ahead with this video anyway, and I'll play it back and I'll see if it actually worked. This video, we're going to talk about battery electric vehicles. We're going to talk about hybrid vehicles. We're going to talk about Teslas and the expected lifetime of the battery packs. Okay, how much can you get out of how much life can you get out of battery packs? And also, what kind of habits do you need to change that lifespan or worse? And I'll miss also that some people have concerning these battery packs. I'd say let's jump into the first one actually right away. Is that you shouldn't supercharge all the time, or very little as possible, because on Tesla's the fastest method. You have to go to actual supercharger stalls to do it. It's anywhere from whatever low speed it is up to, like, I don't know, 250 kilowatts of electricity, which is a huge amount. It's like 1,000 miles an hour going into your battery. So it's bad, right? Actually, I don't think it is. I've got almost 2,000 charges on my battery. I think it's 1,967, something like that. I'm way up there, and it's still going. Yes, I've had an issue. Yeah, I had to get towed once, actually, when I went down to 8 miles of range and shut off. But come to find out, you don't want to go that low. Just like you don't want to go that low on your gasoline tank, because it's so dang close to the bottom. You don't know exactly where the bottom is. Let me kind of lower this thing down. You don't know exactly where the bottom is, and because of that, it may just shut off on you, and you just really can't anticipate it because it's too much of a small margin there. So anyway, I've got that mount, and most of your lithium ion cells are going to have charge cycles of between 2,000 to 3,000 charge cycles per cell, and then at that point you would expect that the estimated useful life would be expended and done. So we're getting very close to that on my battery pack, and we're going to see as we drive, because I'm driving 4.5 years on my own, charging myself. I've been fairly consistent in making sure we don't stay in the battery pack too low, and the motivation there too low is that it tends to trickle off very fast. Actually, it rapidly loses electrons at the end, even if you're parked. So keep that in mind. You got to watch your app. Don't let it sit below 20% without giving it a charge. Otherwise, you may return to the car and there won't be anything left in your battery, and you'll need to tow in a flatbed. So don't do that. Keep an eye on it. The other thing is, don't put it at 100% and leave it there. If you put it at 100% and leave it there, you run into a problem of just the cells being stressed out. They're stressed out whenever they're above 80% or below 20%. They're stressed out. So you don't want to leave it there. You want to kind of limit your daily charging. If you do it to like 80 or 90%, really, I'd say 80% is more like it. Yeah, that doesn't like me doing that, does it? Okay, so I'm going to have to get off here in a second anyway. We got a few more minutes to talk about what's going on. So the bottom line is, make sure you use good charging techniques. Make sure that you also let your battery cycle. It likes to be cycled. It doesn't like to be static all the time. It doesn't like to be drained out. It doesn't like to be full. It likes to be kind of in the middle. And don't charge it when you don't need to. Don't leave it plugged in when you don't need to. But what's the actual life? I've got for right now, for my car, I've got 172,000 miles on this battery pack. 172,000. And it's the original battery pack. A lot of people were saying, oh gosh, you can't get more than 100,000 miles out of your batteries, and then you got to replace it, and it costs $50,000. You might as well total the car. People have said that about hybrids too. The thing is, the cost of these battery packs keeps coming down and down. My hybrid, my 2012 Lexus hybrid, 190,000 miles, original battery pack also. Now on a hybrid, you can't really do much about charging cycles, just about making sure that you exercise the pack and all this stuff. I mean, you can see the gauge on there. You can see how you're doing, but you have a lot less control over it. And the thing with a hybrid is, you're really never going to be rapid charging that pack. It's always going to be like a slow charge. or a slower charge. Now, on both hybrids and electric vehicles, one thing you also can't really control is your braking, because whenever you do braking, at least the lighter braking, it's not real conventional braking, right? It is regenerative braking where you're charging the battery pack. So that's interesting because it's another charge cycle, kind of, but it's a very slow rate. Again, it's not like a hyper fast charge rate or anything like that. So I don't think it'll play into the life of the battery pack. And if it did, I think that they'd eliminate all the regenerative braking if that really was the case, if you think about it from manufacturing. So I'm kind of start here. This is right next to me. We're like in a wolf pack of cars. You know how that gets. Anyway, that's all I got to say to you, I think, about the life of the battery pack. Just recognize that the miles on them, and they on their original battery packs. So going to last at least the life of the vehicle for the average consumer. I mean, how often have you ever driven a car for 200,000 miles yourself? Think about it. Probably most people are like, never, because it hardly ever happens, really. And I know that over time, let's say my battery pack is going to last 250,000 miles. Well, Tesla is an 8-year warranty. I have unlimited mileage, which is awesome because I can get a new battery pack if and when something happens to it, because it will not last forever. I know that. We all know that. But the next generation of batteries will probably last even longer. Probably something like 1,000,000 miles will become common. It'll outlast the rest of the car. It'll be the least prone to trouble of any of the other components that could go wrong. There's all kinds of things break, like your air suspension pump, your compressor, your brake calipers, and all this stuff. And actually, in the future, you may not even need brake calipers, and that's a whole other story. But we're not going to have time to talk about that in this video. Let me scoot back over here. All right. So, one other thing I want to mention, since we're talking about battery packs, is, where am I? I am over here. Okay. Battery packs, life of the battery packs. Heating and cooling. That's a big deal on a lot of electric vehicles. Vehicles before Tesla. Okay, now Tesla has always had on their battery electric vehicles heating and cooling systems that are dedicated for the battery pack. Now, if you're old like me, because I'm 51 when I'm recording this video here, you remember a time when you could buy Japanese cars that didn't have air conditioning. It was an optional dealer installed extra, or any car that didn't have air conditioning. Well, you can't have a Tesla without air conditioning. You know why? Because it cools that battery pack when you rapid charge it. Now, in a hybrid, like my hybrid system on my Lexus, there's no heating and cooling, but you don't need it because you're never rapid charging. You're never building up a tremendous amount of heat. However, it's less than optimal for the battery pack. The battery pack is kind of like a human. It likes to be in perfect conditions all the time. Okay, like 74 degrees, lower or mid humidity, something like that. Not too dry, not too humid. Your battery pack likes that too. So all Teslas have always had lines through the battery packs that carry coolant that heat and or cool the battery pack depending upon the temperature to keep it like basically at an ideal even temperature all the time. And that really helps extend the life of those battery packs, especially when you're fast charging. It is almost a requirement. And a lot of vehicles that didn't have it, like Nissan Leaf and other things early on, I think the Nissan Leaf has heating and cooling of the battery packs now, but they didn't, and they had problems with battery pack failures because of that. So kind of keep that in mind. That's why those cars are a lot less money. You can't really rapid charge those things. If you're using it for ride sharing services or driving long distance, you're going to want to fast charge as fast as you can, like me, all the time. But it shouldn't affect the life of the battery pack, like I was saying, if you have a well-designed heating and cooling system. That's the key. So all Teslas have it. You don't have to worry about it, but other manufacturers, you got to be concerned. But most of the newer models coming out, they're all capable of these high charge rates, and they all have heating and cooling systems. We're talking about stuff that is being phased out now. So used models, older battery electric vehicles, that kind of thing. So let me know your experiences. Let me know in the comments how you guys have been doing. Experiences you know about the life of battery packs when they need to be replaced, that kind of thing. And leave me your comments and ideas for videos in the comments as well. So thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.